Yo, what's up y'all? Alright, so today we're doing a wave tutorial. We're doing a nice low temp fade, bald. We're gonna line the beard up as well. If I got time, I'm gonna show you how to fade the back. So what I might do, I might just fade one side and screen screw up to the other side of the temp phase and then show you how I fade my backs, okay? And we're also hitting them with that skip 2 blade, alright y'all? Let's get into it. Stay tuned. Let's go. Yo, check it out, check it out. Let's start. Right. Yo, it's your boy Von Keith.
Stay in hustle mode. Got some brand new clothes. Hit them with a pose. Check what I just drove. My car don't touch the road.
What's up, my artists? It's the originator of the top tier hair club, Von Keith the artist. Okay, just a brief side note before we get into this wavy haircut. The reason why I call you an artist is because this is an art. Okay, everything that you do has an art to it, so don't ever trap yourself in a box. Now, moving along to the haircut, we just combed the hair out. Now we're about to start off with our premium wall 1.5 guard. We're gonna go ahead and knock the hair down. I thought I was gonna knock the top off with the 18 skip tooth all the way. However, we are still using the skip tooth, but just not right now. My client says he wants to keep the waves thicker than normal. Now, as I'm going through this haircut with this 1.5 guard, please make sure you're paying attention to how I'm combing through the hair with the direction of the hair, okay? When you're knocking these waves down, when they're washed correctly, this should be the easiest thing that you should be doing on this haircut, is just cutting the hair down, okay? For this particular client, his crown area is a little bit thinner than the rest of his hair, so we're going to go ahead and open up that lever just a little bit, and then we're going to close it back as we proceed through the rest of the hair. So make sure you're paying attention to to all of your clients actually. Look at the crown area, look for all light spots, because even in his corner on his vertical bar, that can be a soft spot as well. So we're going to take our texturizer blade later on and we're going to knock that down just to make sure the hair is even. That's the hardest part about cutting hair, is cutting the hair to make sure every particular spot is even, your light spots and your dark spots. That's why I'm going against the grain right here, because I want to make sure his taper is even and I don't want any dark spots, because sometimes people can have dentures in their head and you can't see it because the hair is covering it. But once you develop an eye for it, it will come a lot easier, I guarantee you. And this is a number 2 guard that we do have on our Cocoa hair pose, ladies and gentlemen. This is still the number 2 guard. We're going on the hairline because the hairline was not cut down like I wanted to. But we do have a visitor. Shout out to my girl Kai. She is a dope hairstylist and she is a wonderful friend. Love her to death. Back to the haircut. So like I was saying, we're going against the grain with this number 2 guard because you want to make sure everything is tapered evenly, okay? So his waves are curls, and curls can be tight or they can be loose. So his curls were a little bit tighter on his hairline, but now we're taking this 18 skip tooth and we're going to go down against the curl, but we're going to go down with the grain, okay? At first we went with the grain, now we're going against the grain. Now we're taking our texturizer guard for our detachables and we're going to go ahead and get those light spots that I was telling you about. Like I said, once you develop an eye for it, man, your haircuts will come out a lot better and they will look a lot more even. It's all we want. Alright, moving along, we got that Tap and Go Spritz by Top Tier Hair Club. Yes, that's my brand. This Spritz is top of the line. It does not flake up. It is good for beard lines. It's good for hairlines. It's good for everything, y'all. It's even good for the mustache. Just watch how it works wonders, okay? But before we do that, let's go ahead and start our guidelines for our temp fade. So every temp fade is measured differently, because everybody's head is different, okay? So for this particular client, I'm starting it at the top of the ear, that bald line, and we're gonna bald it out. And we gave ourselves a whole inch to blend, okay? We're gonna do that other side, and I'm using my Babyliss FX. And those blades were sharpened and modified, y'all. Okay, let's go ahead and knock out that back taper real quick while we let this hairline spritz just sit, because that's the formula, okay? You want that spritz to air dry. Now if you can blow dry if you want to speed the process up. However, I have a formula to my haircuts, and this is one of them, okay? Now we just started that first initial guideline for that back taper. Now I'm gonna go ahead and screen scrub because the angle I wanted, you can't really see me blending out the bottom blend, but I am going up in my levels, okay? Yes sir, that's that 1.5 wall premium guard, okay? This is the single magnetic number 1 guard. Now we're going to the 0 single magnetic guard. These guards are made by Andes. Like I said once before, that 0 guard is my best friend. That's what brings the haircut and all the blends together. And sometimes you have to go back, clean up your work, especially in your fades. So we went back to the number 1 guard. Now I know a lot of wavers struggle with this. That's not his occipital bone. That's just from, you know, that's a crease line from his do-rag. His occipital bone was just a little bit higher. It doesn't really poke out, so you can't really see. Now we're just cleaning up any extra hairs that we see in the dark spots because we got to get ready for that crispy hairline. Now the Tap and Go Spritz, it has air dried perfectly. So this is what happens when you take some sharpened and modified trimmers and you mix it with that Tap and Go Spritz. This is what you get, baby. Magic. Okay, look at that crispy line. And we're going to go above the ear, not too high. That's why you want to have sharp trimmers, because when you use the corner of your blades, when you're going around the ear, you don't want to press too hard, okay? And you want to make it a simple, easy process, because that is a very, very sensitive area. When you're getting around the nape area right here, and when you're coming over the ear, don't press too hard. Just let your blades glide. If your blades are not gliding, it's time to go ahead and, you know, sharpen them bad boys up, or go ahead and modify them. Or it may be time for new blades. And if you need new blades, make sure you go to www.clippergrinder.com. Now we're starting off with our razor. We're going to razor that beard. This is our first initial line. I did put the Hairline Spritz on the beard, so we're doing a dry shave today. We're going to knock off the extra residue or the hair. And we're going to hit the line again, and we have to do the other side. You see my razor blade was a little below the eye. You want to make sure this is called nicodermabrasion, okay? You're getting all those little small hairs under the eye, so when the transformation is coming about, you really see the haircut pop out, you know, when all those extra hairs are gone. And like I said in all of my beard tutorials, I make sure I keep the beard wide as possible. So if you see that line curving in the back, that means you keep it in wide. If that line is going straight down, then it's not giving the beard any definition. It's not giving it any life. So it's not going to look good. And when it grows back, you're going to have a lot of new growth. Now we're going to go ahead and razor those vertical bars. I'm raising my vertical bars just to make sure I have a guideline into where I'm not pushing the hairline back, okay? Because sometimes we tend to overextend and let our clippers just do most of the work for us. But if you can keep as much new growth as possible, you will save hairlines and you will have more reoccurring clients. Your retention rate will go through the roof. I guarantee you, your razor is your best friend. And trust me, I had to learn that from one of my OGs. So once I really figured out what he was doing and how he did it, man, now I understood what he meant. The razor is your best friend. I cannot reiterate that anymore. That's the most imperative thing that should be for a barber. Now this technique right here I'm just going from C cup to C cup. I want to make sure both of my C cups are always even, okay? So this is one of my little techniques that I use, okay? And this comb is made by Murano. He's a wonderful barber. He's a good innovator. He's out of Washington, D.C. Make sure y'all go check him out. I do have the link to the comb in my description. Now this is that magic pencil line. I'm doing the pencil line just because since it's a natural cut, I do want it to pop out a little bit more for the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pencil line on my client. You don't have to, of course. Yes, the haircut is sharp, but like I said, I want this thing to stand out and pop out, and I want every single little definition that you can see, okay? I know my camera quality is good, but still, I want you to see all the lines. I want you to see every little thing. Now we're starting our blending process. Now when I start my blend process, I'm making sure my lever is open. That's creating that first initial guideline for the temp fade. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend out that bottom blend, okay? Now this technique right here is called raking. The raking technique is just used for debulking the hair, and it also makes your fades come alive, and it makes your fades go a lot quicker. And you already know we're using those single magnetic guards by Andes. These are my favorite guards to use while I'm fading so far. Don't get me wrong, I do love my wall guards, but when it comes to lower haircuts and when it comes to clients that have more coiled hair, with tighter coiled hair, those guards they work wonders, man. I love them to death. All right, what goes up always must come down. So I don't know if I explained that to y'all. When I'm fading up, I also fade down as well. That makes my blends come alive. Cause you see, look at this blend, man. Oh, that's why I call myself an artist. That's why I call you an artist, because this is an art. We are creating artwork. We are painting a picture, and this is our canvas right here, our client. So I did say in the beginning of the video, I'll show you how I do one side of a temp fade. I showed you how I did the neck taper. So on this side, we're just screen scrubbing. We're going through pretty quickly. I was going to leave it out of the video, but I thought that would be unfair because I do want you to see the whole process, and you might catch something that I might not even explain in the video, because I am not perfect. I am only human. But my goal is to still help, and my goal is to sharpen your eyes as an artist. Now we're just doing a little notching, a little bit of raking, a little bit of cleanup work, making sure that temp fade is blended nice, because it's all about that contrast. Now this is that top tier icy blue foam wrap. Okay, I did put about 4 squirts on his head, and then I put some extra pumps in my hand, maybe about 4. Now we're going to go ahead and massage all through the hair. We're going to activate those curls. Now we're going to use that rapid wave pomade. Okay, this is going to lay that hair down. It can also coil up the hair as well, but like I said, today we're waving. So now we got the do-rag on. I got my blow dryer on high heat, okay, because the hair was wet, it was damp from the foam wrap, and with the mixture of the rapid wave pomade, it's going to go ahead and lock those waves in. And with the do-rag on top, oh man, just let those waves bake for a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and hit you with the beard line. I'm showing you a close-up angle. Remember, I only put the pencil line just to show you more definition, okay? Because I want to make sure that you're getting the correct angles and the right amount of lighting. I want you to see the full haircut. Yes, first we razor out the beard, and then I may follow up with my trimmers, especially on those small little hairs. I try to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Now when I'm trimming up my beards, especially patchy beards, I just clean them up with my scissors. I try not to go too far in them with my clippers, because the clippers tend to cut a little more hairs than normal. But if they're sharpened, if they're set right, they'll still do the trick as well. You gotta make sure we get those unibrows, okay? All right, a little bit of scissor work, a little bit of clipper work. A lot of people are afraid of this. I have a pretty steady hand. If you trust yourself, man, just go over that hair with those clippers. Sometimes I use my razor and my comb and I go through the waves just to make sure I'm getting all those extra hairs, because like I said, when you're cutting curly hair, that can be very tricky and it can take a lot more time. Okay, so that's why you have to make sure your tools are sharpened and modified, because that creates less cleanup work for you. Now we did razor out the pencil line, but just tightening up the hairline. This haircut came out nice, man. The temp fade is sitting right above the ear. It's still low. It's a nice contrast. The back taper is nice. Those lines are crispy. The waves are set in. This is a beautiful haircut. I love it to death. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something. If you have, please make sure you hit that notification bell, because we are dropping every single week. I do drop my shorts every single day. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Now that's a haircut right there. We're gonna put a little bit of oil sheen. Now when I oil sheen my clients, I make sure I do take my towel and wipe off the excess oil sheen off the face, because when they go outside, you don't want their face shining too much. You just want the hair shining. That's it. Alright, now you know we gotta be overachievers, so I had to take my beautiful 90D DSLR by Canon and I had to take a few pictures. This serves a nice beautiful spring day out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Man, this haircut came out nice. Appreciate y'all.
Stay in hustle mode. Got some brand new clothes. Hit them with a pose. Check what I just drove. My car don't touch the road.